For those of you who are new to my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell symbol to get notified of my new video uploads.
Sometimes you learn the hard way before you do things the right way, especially when it comes to motorcycles. You know, a lot of us don't have any training when it comes to working on a motorcycle, and we often learn through YouTube videos like my videos, where I've done maintenance videos and forum posts, and our various mods. You know, we learn how to put it on the bike by watching videos, or but sometimes you just got to learn the hard way yourself. You experiment and you learn the hard way. I've done a lot of experimentation. As you guys know, I'm the type of person that likes to create mods and do crazy and weird stuff, like I did when I built my bug out moto van. And I've done some crazy mods to my bikes over the years. And for those of you regular viewers out there, you know what I'm talking about. But in this video, 5 things you should never do to your motorcycle.
Let's go for a ride. Watching CycleCruza's all-in-one motorcycle channel. Subscribe today.
Continue to leave video suggestions, but you may find what you're looking for by visiting my website at CycleCruza.com and click on the menu tab My Videos. And those are a bunch of playlists with all of my videos categorized in them to make it easier for you to navigate through.
I'm connecting the tether to my airbag vest here that helps keep me safe out here on the streets. I did a full review video on it. Go check it out. I'll include the link to this, the video for this, and also the link to get this and this carbon fiber helmet with mirror shield, camel pants, boots, gloves, cameras, leather jackets, pants, all my stuff. I always include links in the description and comment section of my videos, or go to my website at CycleCruza.com. Click on menu tab My Gear. I've learned the hard way with some mods and different things that I've done in the past with my bikes. Number 1 thing you should not do to your motorcycle that I learned the hard way with is that you should never use an aftermarket oil filter. I did with my my 2019 YZ450FX Supermoto. I put on, I'm not going to name the name of it, but I did it because I wanted to save $1 because I'm cheap and I'm stupid. Because I'll tell you guys, do not try to save $1 and get an aftermarket oil filter. Because when I put this oil filter on, man, and turned the bike on, it leaked oil. And I said, man, I was pissed off at myself. And then I bought an OEM filter and I had no troubles. And I've heard other people say that too. They say stick with OEM filters, guys. Don't try to save $1 like CycleCruza's cheap butt. Buy OEM, man. It's not that much more money, guys. Trust me, it's not worth the hassle. I'd have been really pissed off had I jumped on it, not realized it was leaking oil, and jumped on my bike, rode it, and then it ran out of oil and then seized my engine. Which would have been thousands of dollars, you know, probably like a $2,000 mistake or more. But anyways, number 2 thing you shouldn't do is don't overfill your bike. I mean, with oil. Don't put too much oil in. You've got to be very anal, like I am, when it comes to putting oil in your bike, which I've never had an issue, but I've seen people that have had problems. Yeah, go check out my YZ450FX oil change video and you'll see how anal I am about it. I have a measuring cup, I have it marked, and I do not exceed it, not even by a hair. I do not play. And I make sure I get as much oil out as I can of that bike, and I fill it to the exact amount that they list in the service manual. Because I will tell you, if you overfill the bike, it's going to create more pressure in the engine. It can blow the seals and you can end up with a leak, and worse, you can lose power. But even worse, you could cause some damage to the engine and just end up costing you a whole lot of money and problems unnecessarily because you were careless and put too much engine oil in the bike. So be very careful with that and get as much oil out of the bike as you can. Shake the bike like I do, back and forth, to get the last amount out, little bits out. And make sure you follow the service manual for the amount of oil you put in without an oil filter and with an oil filter. Make sure you decipher between those two. Number 3, lesson that I learned the hard way, again here, is that only use an OEM counter sprocket. As a lot of you guys know who watch my videos, I modded my WR250R for like the 3rd time, and I put on a counter sprocket. This time I put a Pro X aftermarket counter sprocket, and I would, trust me guys, when I put on OEM, whether it be rear or the counter sprocket, I do not play. I am very careful with it. Torque it to spec, make sure it's on the splines correctly. I did everything you're supposed to do. I even contacted the manufacturer, Pro X, and also I called the place where I bought it, Rocky Mountain ATV, and asked them which side should I use for that particular sprocket, because I didn't want to use the wrong side. They told me it didn't matter whether you use the front, either side, it didn't matter. That's what they told me. And as you guys know, that aftermarket sprocket tore down the splines on the drive shaft. Woo! WR250R, baby! Woo! Uh-oh. What the hell happened to my gear? Oh, man. This counter sprocket aftermarket one I installed, as you can see, the teeth grinded.
Look at the drive shaft. The teeth are ground down. Dude, that's bad news. It's going to cost me over $1,000 to get this fixed, mostly in labor charges.
And you know how much that cost me, guys, to get that fixed up? They had to rebuild it. It cost me over $1,000, like 1,100 bucks. And it would have been more had, you know, Rocky Mountain ATV, I have to give props to them. They gave me a big discount on the parts that I needed for it. And then I had this Yamaha dealer do it for me, dealer mechanic do it for me, but I had them send the parts over. So that saved me a little bit of money, probably maybe, I don't know, $100, and maybe about $150 or $100, maybe it saved me. But they knew, man, that I told them exactly, because they know they looked in the records and they can see I called in to make sure and ask them which side to use. And I told them I didn't want to mess it up. You know, I did not want to have any issues whatsoever. And I put on counter sprockets before, guys. That's not, I put on my other bikes. I've never had any problems, but I've only put on OEM counter sprockets. I've never, this was the first time ever that I had put on an aftermarket counter sprocket. I don't know, I'm not going to trash Pro X because maybe I got a defective counter sprocket. I don't know. But all I know is you can't go wrong with OEM. That's all I'm going to say. You stick with OEM, you know you're not going to have problems. Now for the rear sprocket, use an aftermarket sprocket. That's fine. But for the front, you're taking a risk. It's on you, man. I know a lot of you guys say you never had any problems or whatever. That's fine. And hey, do what you want to do, guys, but I'm just giving my advice. But anyways, make sure that you stick to the torque values for every single screw and bolt on your bike. I learned the hard way on this one. My Chinese scooter, which didn't have a service manual, so I didn't know how much to tighten it, but I over-tightened the screw, and the screw just goes to show you how crappy the materials they use for their bikes. That's why I tell you, stay away from Chinese motorcycles and scooters, because they're knockoffs and they use inferior materials. Even the screw was all I did was do a little extra tightening of it and the top broke off of the screw. I had a hell of a time, and it was on the brake reservoir, and I had a hell of a time getting that stem out, man. I had to buy a screw extractor kit, and luckily I was able to get it out with the screw extractor kit. But I learned the hard way, man. Stick to the torque values, guys. But anyways, number 5 thing you shouldn't do to your bike, and I learned the hard way on this too, is that you shouldn't plastic dip your fuel tank or your fuel tank cap. I plastic dipped the fuel tank cap black on my CBR 600RR. And I will tell you, I learned the hard way. When I went to get gas, some of the gas splashed on the plastic dip, and and it went right through the plastic. It messed the plastic dip in 0.2 seconds. And if you do that to your tank too, if some of you guys plastic dip your tank, that fuel, because when you know, sometimes on occasion when you fuel, some of that spits out and it'll go on your tank, and if you have the plastic dip, it messes it up. So it's gonna, don't even waste your time plastic dipping the fuel tank or cap. Stupid idea, guys. And so I hope these points help you guys out. That's why I do these videos, to help you guys out, give you some tips, you know, learn from my mistakes and others' mistakes, so you don't have to, you know, especially you newbies out there. But anyways, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more motorcycle videos. And
Thumbs up, check out my playlist for new riders and popular videos. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto, where I customize a van for my motorcycle so I can live in my van with my motorcycle and travel across the country anywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bug Out Moto.